Hi folks, thank you for checking out my video. I hope you and your family are doing well. Today I'm going to do a test on this Type S jumper starter and power bank that I recently purchased for my daughter from Costco. So this thing's been around for a while. I just never really got bought into it because I didn't think it would work on a vehicle, and just looking at the battery size itself, I didn't think it has enough power to do the job. But my daughter's in college now and she's driving, and I thought it'd be a good idea to give it a try just in case it does work, so that she doesn't have to rely on another person with a car to jumpstart her car in case she ran out of battery. The other aspects of this jumper starter power bank is that it's small enough for her to just put it in her backpack to charge her phone and use her laptop for schoolwork. So we're gonna give it a try. Based on the picture here, this thing should work on your motorcycle, your standard size car, up to a truck. Folks, I just unboxed the power bank. It comes with a beautiful case actually. So let's just open this up. Inside the case, they give you some of the wiring components here. Instruction, I'm gonna have to read through this and make sure use it correctly. And here's some wiring and alligator clamps. Wow, these are huge cable, as you can see here, designed for the amount of amperage that is required to come out from this battery. And I guess this here USB adapter here. The battery pack itself, wow, it's really light. It's not even that heavy. So I'm wondering, it'll be amazing if this thing actually works. We'll put it to the test. So here's the technical specification. I'm mostly interested to see how much amperage this power bank can put out. As you can see here, the jumpstart current is 400 amps. So that's a lot. Given how small this thing is, it has that much amperage inside them. In general, the average amperage needed to start a standard size vehicle is between 125 to 400 amps at 12 volts. So if this thing is true, it should work, but we'll see. We'll put it to the test to see if actually it's going to have that much amperage to put out. Now, again, this is a lithium-ion battery. Lithium-ion batteries are known to be able to pack so much power density in such a small package. So very interesting. Let's see what we have here. There's multiple ports here that you can use to connect your iPhone or your laptop. Here's a power button. Let's see if there's any power on here. So here's a power button. Oh, it actually has some power here. Comes at 67%. When you charge a vehicle, it needs to be at the highest voltage because the vehicle needs to run on 12 volt. When the battery is at 67%, like so, it might not be putting out 12 volts. So you want to make sure you charge it to the highest possible. So this is a hazard light. So this is the charging port. This is where the big wire plugs into. So I'm going to charge this up to 100% and drain the battery to my vehicle and then put this thing to test. I inserted the small cable, the micro USB thingy there. And then I'm going to just plug it into my charging outlet here. Boom. Let's do its work. Now it's charging. So I'm going to bring it up to 100%. Since my daughter is driving a V4 engine, I'm going to test the jump starter on a similar size car. This is my 1999 Toyota Camry. It still works perfectly, so this would be a good car to test it on. All right, I'm inside my Toyota Camry. I'm going to turn on the ignition just to show you that it's working fine before I drain the battery. See, it's working. You can hear the noise there. The old car. Engine's rolling. Got a nice battery that I'm going to drain. Cool. All right, I'm turning the engine off. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to leave some lights on. Just let it drain the battery out. And then I'm also going to leave it on like so. So the light's on. Hopefully this will drain out soon and we can do the test. While we're waiting for this battery to be drained out and the jump starter to charge, I'm going to walk you through what happens when your battery runs out and you need to jump start it. So essentially, once it is drained out, say you forgot to turn off the headlights and then the next morning you can't start your vehicle, what happens is that this battery here is drained out of the amperage that's needed to actually get the starter going, right? So when you turn on the engine, you're actually trying to get this starter to kick in. The starter is an electric motor that is being powered by the battery. Now this electric motor is connected to a flywheel. The flywheel is connected to the engine via the crankshaft, which is then connected to the 4 pistons in the engine. The starter on its own requires at least 30 amps of current to start, but when connected to the flywheel and to the total engine, it requires, like I mentioned earlier, at least 125 to 400 amps, depending on the weather. If it's cold cranking, like it says here, you need 582 amps to get it starting, right? So when you run out of battery, you don't have the amperage or the voltage to get the starter going, and that's why your engine is dead. You know, although your vehicle has fuels and all the other stuff, you can't get the engine going. When you supply power to the starter, to the electric motor, there is a pin gear in front there that will engage with the flywheel. The flywheel is then provide that cranking power to get the engine going. So once the starter get the engine to combust and get itself going, the combustion will then transfer that power to the wheels, and it's also connected to a number of things here, like the camshaft, the compressor at the bottom there, as well as the alternator. So the alternator is a key component to how the battery will get recharged, and the spinning of the alternator generates AC electricity, and that electricity would then be converted into DC at around 12 to 14 volts, and it's been regulated for that amount of voltage. That voltage will then go back into the battery to recharge the battery to get the amperage needed to get the starter going, so that the starter can get the whole engine going. So when you think about it, this whole integrated system is just amazing. It's amazing how well thought out this whole process is. Okay, today's a big day that we're going to test this out, and also my daughter from college is here. Hi. So perfect timing. So I charge this up to 94% only to imitate real life situation. Sometimes you don't have 100%. I wanted to see if we can actually start the car at around 90%. Okay, with that, we're going to the vehicle and see if the battery is drained out, and then my daughter is going to charge the vehicle. Let's do that. So my daughter is, we're gonna see if this thing is working at this point. So we left this thing drain overnight. Let's crank it to see if it's gonna work. Oh, that doesn't work. No. One more time. Nope. So the battery is drained. Okay, so we're gonna see if this thing can really work. Let's charge it. Yep. So what you want to do is you want to insert this part here, this terminal, to here. Right? Boom. And try to prevent the metal part of the alligator clips here from touching each other. So you will notice the terminals to the battery, positive is red, and then the negative is black here. And so what you want to do is you want to connect the positive first, so it's gripping, and then the black cable to the negative wire. All right, so you see these wires are short, so you can actually clip it to the negative wire. Normally you connect the negative to the chassis of the car to prevent explosion or any accident like that, just in case it's a spark, right? But it's designed to be short, and this thing is off anyway at this point, so you won't see any spark when I connect the battery. So I'm just gonna do it here, like so. Once I turn this on, I have 30 seconds to try to charge it and then come back and disconnect the cables. You want to disconnect the cable, disconnect the positive first and then the negative. Alright, so I'm going to turn it on. So it's on now. Alright, I'm going to turn on the engine. Once you jump the car, you want to leave the vehicle running for the next 20 to 30 minutes, or you can drive it around so that the alternator can recharge the battery, you know, to at least 12 volts and generate enough amperage for the car to start automatically the next time you turn on the ignition. With that, thank you for watching the video. It was a successful test. I'm glad that it worked out, and especially knowing that now my daughter can jumpstart her car in the event that her vehicle runs out of battery somehow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.